Hey guys, this is Chris from Team RMG1. I wanted to do something a little bit special since I couldn't keep up my promise with getting a second video up in the week. It was very difficult for me. School kind of got in the way, so decided to do something special for you. I took this to, I guess you can call it a mini local. And then I'm going to go to one this afternoon, but I just wanted to get this out now. The Premium Gold came out, and some cards definitely came out that helped my deck, but it turned out it was just one. And I experimented with a little bit more and found that this is kind of what I wanted to play, barring one change. But the deck that everyone's waiting for is Mermails. Alright, so let's get into the profile. I'll kind of show you and explain to you what I did to play this deck and stuff like that. So first we have 3 Megalo. This is kind of an essential card in your deck to get your combos going and let you add a lot of your scales, which help you do win the game. I did play the 1 lead as well. It's good, but really it's just pitch fodder for me. I pitch it if I have a gunned, reborn free 7. I don't really use it a lot, but for the times I do, it's great. And in this deck, it's a little bit different than most decks, but it's definitely used a lot. We have 3 Etius. This card's great. Lets me add, starts my combo pieces, gets me a Mermails in hand. It's excellent. I then play 3 Gund. My logic behind this, Monster Reborn is banned, so let's play 3 of them, because why not? This deck the deck I'm playing abuses Gund a lot. Now this is the strange part. I do play 3 Lind. Now you might be thinking, well, this is a bad build, this is you got to play the Prince deck, and yes, that deck is great, but if I don't open up Prince, I lose the game that way. I don't draw a 1-for-1, I don't have a Deep Sea Diva or any way to get it. I lose, but I see Lind a lot, and it helps me get to my leads, my other plays that I can hold off, and then when I see a Prince, I go off and win the game. Now this is a little bit different, or aside from the Linds, this is also a little bit different. I play 3 Pike. People have been cutting it down to 2. I thought about it myself and adding a little bit more Atlanteans. I decided not to. 3's great. Sometimes. This is the card I would cut out and add another Atlantean if I needed one. That's kind of it for the Mermail count. It's quite a lot, actually. And then we do play Atlanteans, duh, but you also play the 3 best Atlanteans right now, 3 Prince. Card's great. I can't explain to you how wonderful this guy is. If you see it, you win that turn, almost, kind of thing. This is the card I would like to add one more of, Heavy Infantry. One's nice. There was one time where I did need a second one, but usually I never needed that second one, so I'm half tempted not to and half tempted to at the same time. I'm half and half about it. I would like to add a second one, take out a Pike, but at the same time, I've never really needed a second one except once. We then play the 2 best cards in the deck, Atlantean Dragoons. This card's great. You can get its effect off multiple times. Add all the Sea Serpents you want to your hand. You play a lot of them. You have your Megalos, you have your, Atlanteans are all Sea Serpent, I believe. Yep, they're all Sea Serpent. I then play 2 Marksmen. I usually don't resolve a Marksman, but I use it as pitch fodder. Really, that's kind of half why it's in there. If I do get it off, it's great. I would say at our locals, there's a little bit more trap-heavy decks, or people set everything, so it's great to have. Thought about bumping that one up to 3. Then I decided, with how many traps are being played right now, it's not often I'll need a 3rd. And that is it for Atlanteans. Kind of a smaller engine, but it does a lot of work for me, which is great. We then play 2 other water monsters that are aside from the Atlanteans and Mermails. You play Mulan Glacia. This card's bonkers if you get it to resolve. Take 2 cards out of their hand. If you do it turn 1, they're out so many combo pieces. And then I think this great card is Deep Sea Diva. This card should get hit, but if I see this, my turn play is going to be so broken. That's kind of it for monsters. It's a lot of monsters, you know, a lot of monsters. But you kind of need the monsters too. Now, other cards you play, you know, you play a lot of. I play a lot of spells. I don't know about you guys, but this is an interesting deck to me, and there are many variants that can be played, but this one I like the best. 2 instant fusion. For your Norden play, Norden is disgusting in this deck, especially when you can go Dragoons and then, or grab a Dragoons and then just continue going off. I play a bunch of one-ofs. I play Salvage. This card's bonkers in the late game. You know, can add back all the cards I need to my hand to pitch. Or, you know, if I see it, I can usually get a lot of cards in net advantage to where I can win the game. Raigeki, card's an absolute blowout. Why not play it in this deck? If I Raigeki and then set up a great field, I can usually OTK. One Scale the Setsus. While I was playing last night, I could have went undefeated. Oh well, whatever. Story of my life, right? I made a misplay. I thought it was when a trap, not on their side of the field, so... But this card is great. I like it against really all the traps. You know, people... With the premium gold, people are getting the Stormy Mirror Forces, the... you know, and a bunch of other trap-type cards, and they're putting them in their decks. You know, Solemn Strikes are big right now. Vanities is there, but not as much. I resolved this one time against a Mirror Force and just continued to blow them out of the water, so it was great. I like it over the Mikazuchi one because they can bait out something, like they go MST and then you have to negate with Mikazuchi kind of thing. Honestly, I like this one over Mikazuchi myself. I play the 1 Soul Charge. This card's bonkers. When it comes to late game, you just bring back all your 7s, make a big rank 7 play, and then proceed to win. It's kind of how it goes. This deck has a hard time against back row, so I play 3 MSD. I don't like Twin Twister. You need cards in your hand with Mermails, so that's kind of my logic behind it. And usually, if I just hit the 1 or 2 back row, I can usually pull through with a marksman or heavy infantry if it's face up. To make this card to round off the spells, I play 3 Upstart because seeing cards is great. Thinning your deck out by 1 card and still being able to OTK through the Upstart. You know, I have to give them 1,000 kind of thing. It's still great, and you can OTK through it. And I do play 3 traps. You guys can, this is my build. I really like it a lot. I like it better than just summoning Prince myself. I play 2 Sphere and 1 Warning. The interesting thing, people don't anticipate it being spheres in a Mermail deck, because mine is a little bit different from all the other ones. I like it a lot. They MST to clear, and then it's a sphere, and then I net more advantage. The Warning, if they do a big play, I can just knock them out of the water kind of thing. Get it, water jokes today. Golly. Alright, and now for the extra deck. This can change a little bit. I did put a couple cards in here that I tested out, and there was 1 card I put in that I actually kept, 2 cards. I was testing another card, and I still need more testing, so going to locals today and try it out. But first off, our instant fusion targets are Norden. This card doesn't need to be explained, but it is just silly. We then go on to our synchros. We play 1 Tatsunoko. Usually you only have 1 tuner. Your Diva's your tuner. If I could play more, if more Deep Sea Divas, which would make this deck just absolutely silly, I would play more. But I've only found the need for 1. I don't really get it out that often, to be honest, but when I do, make a bigger synchro is great. Herald of Arclight. I tried this out. It's interesting. I like it in certain matchups, and then certain ones I don't, but I'm trying it out. It's helped me out plenty in the past, so it's staying in. It's one of my favorite, or more target, or more synchroed into than the Tatsunoko itself, so that's kind of why I have it in there. I played DeLorean. Now, this originally was a Stardust Charge Warrior when the Premium Gold came out yesterday, at least for our shop. And I I didn't like it. You know, it was very underwhelming in testing. Yes, I liked the drawing of the card and attacking as many special summons, but it was only 2,000. You know, that was the turnoff because if I'm playing against, let's say, a Cosmo player, if for say they had one, and I bust out a Stardust Charge, I draw a card, but I can't run over anything in that deck. I can run over a Farm Girl, but then they're just gonna tag out and do Cosmo stuff. I didn't see it as worth. And with the DeLorean, I could bounce back all my cards, pump this guy up to like super strong attack, then just really put a lot of hurt on the board. This one is a little bit interesting, but Black Rose, I'm half and half about this card. This did take the spot. I did play DeLorean and Stardust Charge last night, but I never really made Black Rose, so maybe I'll take it out and add another card. I'm half and half because I've used it plenty of times and it's helped me clear boards, but it's very situational when I use it. That's kind of what the card is. It's a situational card. If I cannot advance my game state, or if they just have an unbreakable board, attempt to Black Rose, blow up the field, and it kind of resets. With the Mermails, it's a little bit easier because you have Soul Charge, Salvage, and other cards that let you add back to your hand. I don't know. That card, this one might be taken out for a Stardust Charge if I continue to not like Black Rose and not like Stardust. Now, I play a ton of XYZs. Alright, Daigusto Phoenix. If this card is made, it is usually because I am so far ahead I don't need it, but it's nice. But yeah, for the 2s I play, which are a Deep Sea Diva and a Heavy Infantry, if I played a second Heavy Infantry, I would make this more, but probably not often. Trite, I do play the Bahamut Shark. It is right here. So this is my combo piece, Bahamut Shark into Trite. It's nice to have. I played Daigusto Emerald. I played it last night, and it came up one time where I just didn't have any monsters, and just recycling all the cards, either my extra deck cards or my level 7s, just put them back in the deck is great. The Abyss Dweller, this card is silly. I love it to death. It combos off with pretty much most of my cards. Dragoon. If I have Dragoons and Norden under this, I make Dweller effect. You can't use your graveyard, and then I get a Dragoons effect. It's kind of silly. This is a new edition, number 37, Hope Woven Dragon Spider Shark. That is a name and a half. Let's see if I can bring it up and see if the camera can focus. Focus, come on, please. No? I'll read it to you guys then. It's 2 level 4s. 2 level 4 water monsters is what is required. It is a Sea Serpent XYZ effect. 2600 attack, 2100 defense. When any player's monster declares an attack, I can detach 1 XYZ from this card. All monsters your opponent currently controls loses 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. When this card is destroyed by battle or by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 other monster in your grave, special summon it. You can only use the effect of number 37 once per turn. This card, when it came out, I was skeptical about. Put it in anyways. I wanted to try it out. It's definitely super helpful. It actually won me a couple games. Actually, funny story. I feel bad for one of my guys. Shout out to this guy from our locals named Wayne. He's playing Despots. He attacked into this with a Gauntlet Launcher, and I used its effect and detached, and I won the game because of it. It's nice to have that minus 1,000, but really what I use it for is to bring back... Where is he? Oh. I can bring back any monster. I can bring back any of these cards, I can bring back any of it. I can bring back any of my extra deck monsters. I can bring back, this card, highly underrated, and I really like it. And then I play 3 7s. Number 11 came up once, and my friends will finally stop bothering me that I don't own one. So shout outs to them. But this came up once. It's still a Odd Eyes XYZ. Forgot his name. Not the XYZ Pendulum. It's the other guy. Absolute. There we go. Absolute Dragon. Negate 2 attacks for free, and if I had an Odd Eyes, I could special it, but not this deck. I did play Dracosac. This was my kind of go-to card for a while. I don't make it as often as my next card, which is Mermail Deck. This card is silly. I have, whenever I played, I would always, if I had an instant fusion, I could end the field with a Gaios, a Dweller, and Setsis attached to it. So this guy gets really beefy, and I love the negate everything on the field currently. And that is the best effect by far. And also the Fiber Hurricane attack. That one is nice too, because it kind of lets me stall a little bit. But really I use it for the everything on their side of the field that's less than 28, the attack is great. I don't currently have a side deck. It is in progress. I can tell you what it is right now. It is 3 Maxi, really for anything that spams the field. I like drawing cards in this deck. I need cards in this deck. If I have an empty hand, I usually lose. So that's nice to have. 3 Veiler, iffy about that one. I play Imperial Iron Wall, Artifact Lancia, Mask Restrict, and Chaos Trap Hole. Those are the ones I'm currently with right now. I'm still testing it, so I don't want to give you, this and say, oh, this is the great, this is the side deck I'm working with, but it's still in progress. But I hope you guys did like this deck profile. I really like this deck. I played it since it got that hype again, after or during that Fire Fist format. So I picked this deck up, I would say for free. There's an interesting story that goes to it. But I hope you guys like the profile. You're more than welcome to leave comments in the comments. Tell me something you like, something you find interesting. Oh, this is really cool to put in there, and I can try it out. Resources, not super hard to come by, but if you ask me to get a Giant Hand and a Blood Mephist, aside from this mat, I'm probably not going to get a Blood Mephist. But, you're more than welcome to tell me, oh, you should try Ghost Ogre Snow Rabbit. They came out in the gold, it's easier to pick up for me. It's great. So you guys are more than welcome to leave comments. Let me know if you would change anything in this deck. All right, this is Chris from Team RMG1 signing out. Bye.